Hi, guys. Welcome back to Cupcakes and Protein Shakes. I'm your host, Savannah, and we're doing another episode where we sit down with a fellow athlete and she gets to share her story and journey to the stage. So, welcome to the show. Introduce yourself and tell us, where are you from?
Absolutely. Thank you, Savannah. My name is Brianna Hyde. I actually am located in St. Petersburg, Florida. A pretty popular hub right now for the fitness. So it's been a great little transition to come over here and experience all the gyms have to offer.
Yeah, I love St. Petersburg. So, it's a hot spot for fitness. I don't know why, but there's a lot of fitness people that live in St. Petersburg.
And I worked for Rebuilt in the past, so I really um, found more and more spots that were doing like women's only fitness and just like aesthetic places that are, really helping women target those areas. And it's really an eye opener. Delights down here,
Yes.
um,
Oh my gosh. Okay.
a
If you
bodybuilder's heaven.
Yes. Oh, I went to Delights and I was like, this is a lie. It's like, this is a joke. This has to be a prank. There's no way, it's literally like the lowest calorie, it's not even protein. I think it's just like ice cream,
Yeah,
something.
it's just like 3 to 5 grams of carbohydrates per like vanilla chocolate serving. And then
And
they make a ton of flavors off of those.
you can eat so much and it's so low calorie. It is the most amazing thing. So there's a Delights, and I don't think they have a ton of locations. I think it's just in like Florida area.
Yeah,
But
Tampa.
yeah, if you're ever there, go to Delights and eat your heart out ice cream. I don't know what they put in it. I don't know how it works with the ingredients. It is one of the best places to go ever.
Yes, make sure they stay open for life.
Yeah. Well, okay, so let's get in a little bit to background stuff. So, what are you doing right now? And like, are you in off season? Are you prepping for a show? What are you working towards now? And like, kind of what is 2024 going to look like for you?
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm actually a previous competitor. So right now I'm in my off season, just building up the shoulders and glutes that we're seeing on that Olympia stage right now. But I I'm just taking it slow right now, and 2024 will probably be an angel fashion show year for me. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, they look so much fun, especially I know you mentioned you have like 8 shows this year. So that's killer. And if I don't get on stage, I'll get on stage with that for sure.
Yeah, I'm really excited. The fashion show is it's like if you're gonna be in an off season, but you want to compete, it's a great place to do it without having to cut your bulking season short and
Mhm.
still have all the fun. Like you get to get in the suit, get your suit ready, go through the process and still be a part of it without having to like stress yourself out of like, oh my gosh, I have to be conditioned at this certain date. It's like I don't really have to do anything. I can just step on stage, have fun, I can enjoy my post-show treats. Yeah, like literally the whole time you can drink, like it doesn't matter. It's so much fun. I like the fashion shows too because it gives you it's a mini goal to work towards. Like
Mhm.
it's not this huge crazy goal, and you can just have it and have fun and meet people and experience and like do a little travel weekend slash be around the fitness people. I think it's going to be really fun. So
Yeah.
fashion shows 2024. Yeah, we do have 8 of them. So if you're listening to this and you're interested in walking in a show, we got 8. First one starts the Arnold, and then we have many more. So that'll be fun. So hopefully, have we haven't met in person, have we?
No, and it's funny, I actually just met Hannah not too long ago. So next time you're in town, I'll have to try to link up with you for sure.
Yeah, I was like, well, if you're in St. Petersburg, I was like, you probably know Hannah. So that's awesome. Well, okay, so let's talk a little bit about your competition history. So
Absolutely.
when was that first show?
So my first show was actually in 2017. I've had quite a introduction into health. So I had rheumatoid arthritis as a child, as diagnosed, I think about freshman year of high school, looking back. So I never really got into it. I know all the, kids that went to the gym in high school. And right when I graduated, I had a surgery called a partial pulmonary vein return. So it actually sent blood was going to my lungs. So it actually just gave me all this energy and such a burst. And I was like, okay, I'm getting my LA Fitness trainer, because that's what I used back in the day. And I signed up with a local coach and slowly moved my way to Ultimate Sports Fitness in Weston, where actually Stacy and Leslie Kaufman from Steel Fit and Protein trained. So I just, it was just the perfect storm. And I competed in the Diamond Classic in Boca Raton and went to Miami Muscle that year in South Beach. So only 2 shows under my belt, but it was a wild ride.
So were those both in 2017?
2017, and I believe the next one was 2018. I had turned 21 that year, so I was like, perfect, you're in the perfect condition to be out in Florida and on the beach. So um, I actually had begun to prep uh, with Pro Physique for my next one, and I had a stroke all of a sudden at age 24. So I'd been working, quite a bit behind the scenes for the last 3 years, and it wasn't due to high cholesterol, thankfully, nothing that's detrimenting to my health. It was actually um, a congenital defect called a PFO. So a partial formula O valve that is a small hole in between your atriums. It's almost too much to say a hole, but it's just a little pathway. And that brought me to, just another um, entryway. It was kind of cool. I say that looking back, of course, but I had left side paralysis leaving that. So I went through very intense physical therapy, occupational therapy, moved back with my parents. So I have a newfound love for St. Pete coming back. But I worked with an exercise physiologist, and the first thing he had me do was hip thrust. And I was like, oh my goodness, I've been, just waiting to do these because it wasn't safe at that time for me to go to the gym by myself. It's just a lot of like luggage to carry. Um, so it really brought me back. And um, like kind of a side note, but I kind of got into the EDM festivals around that time because he had went, and it was like my first time standing for 8-10 hours, however much you do, and like dancing. So it really gave me a newfound appreciation for my body and just kind of all the mechanisms that were like, my glutes aren't growing fast enough, and it's like, but you can move in a certain way that you don't have to tell your body to do so. So
Oh
it's
my
it's really
gosh.
incredible.
Jeez, girl, you've been through a journey. Wow. Holy cow. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're here today and that you're able to, just be healthy is a win in itself. And
Right.
that's a long journey. So you're still in the middle of it. And like, it's, so I'm guessing the goal is maybe to get back on stage, or like, what is your goal with fitness right now?
Yeah, so I'd like to get back on stage just to show myself that I could be in those heels again, and the show day is just so fun, and it gives you such a goal and such a love for yourself because you have to dedicate so much time. So, whether it be the Angel Fashion Show, and just kind of expressing like creativity with your suit instead of, blue or red, whatever's popular that year. Um, just getting up on stage and being proud of kind of the body that I'm in is the goal overall.
Oh
I
my
know that
gosh.
you've switched, so I admire you so much.
Yeah. Well, thank you. No, I love that. I love that you're still able to like take some of the things that you've learned from competing in 2017. I mean, that's a long time to be in an off season and still have that focus and drive and like those habits that you built probably at the very beginning probably like really, really helped get through physical therapy of having a goal and knowing that it's going to be hard, but you can do it. And I really love competing because it does teach you that how to goal set. And it like once you get to the end of the stage, at least one time, you can take that mindset and you can apply it to really anything that happens. Whether you're going through something that you did, it's just the no quit, right? Like no matter what,
Mhm.
it's hard. I'm gonna be able to do it because I've done it in the past. And through competing, if I can do, one prep, I can do anything. And it seems like that really like helped you stay like motivated throughout that time. But like when all of this happened, like mentally, were you okay? Like was it a struggle? Have you been doing like what have you been doing to stay positive and stay motivated through this?
Absolutely. So just because it's such a meaningful connection, I did mention pro physique. Um, so Paul actually allowed me to go do awards after my stroke happened at Janet, like I don't want to butcher the last name, but the beautiful Janet's show, Battle of the Bodies. So just little things like that. I got to do my makeup that day, got to wear a beautiful black dress, and the community that I met that day, that's actually where I met my current coach, Phil Turtle, just because he was so sweet that day. Everyone walked me to my car that night, because my mom was driving me at that point. And just little things like that, coming back to St. Pete and trying hot yoga and little things that I was like, no way. But it gives you a different focus and a different community. And then that community just expands with you.
Oh my gosh, wow. So what does training in your world look like right now?
Yeah. So thankfully, when I got back, I met a wonderful girl, Jess Kelly, at Optimum Fitness in Tampa. And she was using the INS system, intermuscular stimulation. And it has um, direct currents and alternating currents that actually open up the nervous system and allow you to kind of fight against current habits that you have. Um, if there's pain and you are kind of folding into that and manipulating the movement that's not in the right direction, it kind of rewires that for you. So thankfully, over that course, I kind of got back to single-legged movements, especially the Bulgarian split squat was like really hard at first. But I've just been building little by little, and kind of implementing CrossFit and F45 just to keep that mobility up. And of course, stuff on my own time, but those are really nice because I don't think of my workout. Um, but just kind of changing it up, I would say I wasn't focused on my endurance as much before. It was really just building that muscle, eating all my food, you know?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So okay, so I'm just curious, like, did you lose muscle or like did you like what happened when you were kind of going through this recovery process? Like, was it like what happened with diet? What happened with training?
Yeah. So I wish I could say different. Everything's learning experience. I did kind of go in a depressive state and was overeating a little bit. I couldn't walk. Um, and that's something I'm so grateful for today is like getting 10,000 steps a day because going 1,000 steps, I was just like, I know I'm not burning the calories and I would overindulge. I did stick to protein because protein's always been my biggest thing, but kind of just rewiring myself to be on a better structure. I did more intuitive eating when I came back, and that's something Phil still helps me with right now. Um, just kind of getting those hunger signals back. My brain definitely altered a bit during that whole transformation. So my hormones became a little bit confused, and I think my ghrelin was kind of, just all these hunger signals that it was boredom and it was feelings of fulfillment through food. So that's getting better gradually. Um, but I'm trying to take it just as the paralysis, just finding a new way to rewire your brain in some matter.
Oh my gosh.
Um, yeah. In
Girl, you're
terms of,
crazy. I am so inspired by you. Like you really inspired me just being able to, be grateful. And I think like you're out here like, still pushing yourself to get back to training and dieting, like despite all of these, things that could have gone a lot differently, right? Like it could have gone a lot differently. You could have used this as an excuse to say, whatever, I'm just gonna not train. I'm not going to prioritize getting back to healthy. And you could have done a lot, gone down a different path, but instead you're like, nope, I'm motivated. I'm going to get back into the
right.
gym. I'm going to get back to like building muscle and strong and changing the focus. So, I mean, hats off to you. Like you are inspiration of it just shows like if you're able just to compete in general, if you're able to work out in general, like we should have that space of gratitude for our body. Because if you're able to even prep, like prep is a privilege. Prep is
Absolutely.
not something that we should complain about. And there's athletes that wish they could prep that are trying to get back to a space that they could prep. So for you, like, what is some advice that you have for anyone that's struggling through a recovery process? They're in a long off season or they're going through something that's like pretty life changing, like what you went through.
Yeah, thank you. And I guess, sorry if you hear my cat and dog in the back. Um, but so after every Olympia, I know this quote comes out that says, most Olympians wish they would have placed better. Most pros wish they would have gotten a bid to Olympia. Um, most NPC competitors, wish they turned pro, and it just feeds onto the general public. But just really grounding yourself. Um, it's funny because I've been an adult for, so many years, right? I don't know when the average Joe considers himself an adult, but it's been a lot of self work that I've undermined throughout the years. Giving yourself time to read instead of focusing on how many like pages you read and how many books you get down, finding a connection with something instead of having this superficial goal, has been, I think, the biggest thing that got me through. And good friends for sure, because I've always wanted to go to nationals because I feel like the friendship there is just, y'all are rooting for each other while you're going to different shows and competing across the globe. And it's just something so special. So finding that outside of competing, I guess, has been a newfound glory for me. And really just, looking at everything that there is to offer outside of maybe our general scope of fitness,
Mhm.
just moving your body and um, appreciating the little things. Like, we may have to drive all the time, but that time that you get to walk, like you want to walk everywhere. So it's just been the little things for me and focusing on my mental health. And I know that's so generalized when it's said, but it really is important because that's all we have is like our mind for the rest of our life.
Oh my gosh, yes, you're speaking my language. I love the mindset part of just life, and I like to just challenge yourself in different ways and like going through hard things to just kind of see how far you can test your mind and setting those habits and checking boxes and just building slowly and taking this, massive goal and just like, okay, well, that's a little too scary to do, like let's break it down. Let's make it
Right,
baby steps. Like, what can I do? How many steps can I get today? Can I just get to the gym once this week? Right? Can I follow my nutrition plan once? Can I, not snack once this week? And just breaking that goal down into small little micro sized area instead of just trying to, see this big goal and not get discouraged. So
right.
long term speaking, as far as like, I guess maybe two things. So inside of bodybuilding, what are your goals for like competing? And then outside of it, what are goals?
Yeah. So inside, and this may be uh more of a like a 5-term year goal, but I I would like to secure secure my pro card eventually. Just like I said, the community I think you built, and I think it's something so cool to look back on. Um, and just having another certification of some sort and being welcomed into that world of the IFBB. It's just incredible to me. So I definitely want to focus on that. And I'm looking forward to see how, especially the bikini world, because that's where I compete, how it evolves. I know the muscle is insane right now. So I'm really excited to see just where that evolution of the body takes us right now. And, if I can keep up with it, I can keep up with it. If not, there's plenty of other divisions to explore. And wherever I do get my pro card, I know the moment will be beautiful. Um, Outside of my competing life, I would probably say it's been um, it's been a financial journey definitely this year because something I wasn't ready for. And the stroke just seems like such a pivotal moment where I saw this, but um, I didn't get disability that year. So I had to jump back into school and I had to jump back into work. And um, I really, I've kind of done odd jobs this year. So right now I'm actually working with BLB Luxury, which is like a customized spray tan uh, operation. And it's been really cool because I've never been an esthetician in my life, but just seeing how happy people are leaving the studio, it's been magnificent. So it's kind of taking me to new places that I would have never envisioned myself if I didn't have to just like stand in one place for 2 years and be like, is that really where I want to end up? I can get medical benefits anywhere. And so I'm actually in the process right now of applying to become a 911 dispatcher, um, just because I was getting a criminology degree. So that's my plans for right now. Life can take you in a million different ways. So I'm just kind of going with the flow and we'll see kind of what passion I can create and, maybe change the world through. So,
Wow. Everyone's background is different. And
mhm,
I love competing because, how you get to the stage, why you get to the stage, and like where you come from, what job you're doing, how you trained, your personal prep, it's different for everyone. So
Hmm.
like yours is just as unique as mine. It's completely different and unique to you, but just I like that when we get on stage or you get to a competition, it's like, okay, we're sharing this experience, but the way that we
Hmm.
got here is completely different. 911 dispatcher. How did this one of my friends actually, I used to work with her. I think she was training to be a police officer and she was in dispatch for a little while. So it feels like it just sounds like you want to like help people.
Hmm.
Is that why?
Yeah, so I was actually thinking about the police academy, and it's just I haven't gotten running back. Running's actually going to be my new um, kind of skill to tackle. Um, I know it just was never my thing, and then my exercise physiologist had me do it to kind of level out the speed of, my foot hitting the ground. So um, I just kind of got pulled away from the idea of being an officer. And I'm like, well, what else can I do? Because, um, your mom in that predicament is always like, oh, that doesn't seem entirely safe. So, kind of, just where you were headed. I love helping people, and that just kind of seems like maybe a good career choice for me at this time. Benefits are, of course, a perk of that, but I think just, I've heard some stories about, without being too morbid, just being the last person maybe that someone speaks to, and that could be a heart attack, that could be anything. And my dad's been a firefighter for 25 years, so I just really, um, I do very much value those little connections that you can gain through your life.
Mhm. I love it. I feel like you're such a special person because
Thank you.
yeah, you seem happy. Like I can genuinely like feel like you're in a really great spot. Like mentally, it just seems like it's been hard. I'm sure it's not been easy. Like I know
Yeah.
that it's not easy to work, in competing in life in general and trying to, work back from not being able to walk to now
Mhm.
training to like that's a big accomplishment. It might not seem like it is, but I mean that's better than a pro card. It's being able to like get back to it and like being able to train how you want and just like live life how you want. So it's very exciting that you're here just to give hope. Like you can, and you have to have time and just know it's going to take some time and to get there. Okay, but before you were training, before 2017, what
Mhm.
did your life look like? And then what was the initial reason that got you into bodybuilding and how did you find it?
Yeah, so I know my best friend Victoria Georges at the time had just started competing, and I mean traveling all over to Europa when it was I'm not sure if that competition's still en route, but I just saw all these different backgrounds, at the stages, and it went different from prejudging to finals, and it was just such a production. It keeps me going because I recently saw Ashley Kaltwasser in Japan, and it was like a game show, like she said, but it's just marvelous, the production that people will put on and all that goes into it. Of course, you work with angel competitions that, just their setup alone and them fixing suits for girls. It's such a marvelous event. And I saw a little bit of that and just wanted to kind of get my feet wet with it. I would say my gym at the time was another pivotal point for that because they would put up the pictures after you competed and you would do your little signage, and it would just be, that was my last package. Where can I get to now? Or that was my starting point. Where will I be in, 10 years when they put my next picture up? So I'm actually back at a gym in St. Pete that does that. I'm not sure if it's more for pros, but I'm like, I'm gonna get on that wall. Um, and it's just it really lived up to my expectation. Um, just even from like your cup of coffee and pancakes in the morning, it was such a beautiful day both times. And um, just seeing what the body can accomplish is magnificent.
Mhm. So what advice do you have for someone that's maybe thinking about competing and they're not sure? Like for a first time athlete that's like, oh, I would think I might want to do that. What advice would you say?
Yeah. So when you are getting into it, you're gonna say you're not ready a million times, but just do it. If you're not putting yourself in a bad spot with your health or your finances, I say do it because the determination and the willpower that my body proved to me that I could do. I mean, I was doing cardio at 3 a.m. When is that like possible? Maybe traveling, but it's such a different outlook on yourself and the capabilities. And I think that's why a lot of us do continue to evolve because that lesson is so universal that you just push yourself for a few weeks or, few months, whatever it is. And you look back and you're like, oh, well, you know, I could do that again, and it just makes you push that much harder and see yourself in a new light. So do it, do it, do it, no matter what. If it's a powerlifting competition, you don't have to get glammed up. Just prove yourself wrong.
Yes, I love that. I love that because it's really true. You like I think every person should number one work in a restaurant. That's a different story,
Mhm.
but number two, do a prep of some sort. And that's
Mhm.
like a very physically hard task because we're so comfortable. We want to be so comfortable like right now. We have like everything is convenience. It's like we can have food takeout, like we don't have to really walk. We
Right.
don't really have to even leave our house for much. But when
It's
you put
Uber.
yourself,
Yeah.
yeah, you can Uber, you can get your things delivered. Like there's not a lot of hard things that humans right now have to put themselves through. Like life is pretty easy to be honest. But if you go through a prep like that, physical, mental, like you are starving, like you're going through these challenges, like you got a mental battle yourself of like, oh my God, I'm so tired, but I have to get this done because I made a commitment and I made a promise. It does trickle down through any aspect of life. Like you will get through 14, 12 weeks later, and you'll just be like, wow, I made that commitment to myself. I kept my promise, even when it was hard. I never gave up. And then you realize it kind of like unlocks this like power of, oh my gosh, if I really set my mind to something, I can do whatever I want and I can accomplish this. So I agree with you too. It's just do it. Do something. It doesn't necessarily have to be the big bodybuilding competition stage. It can be like do something physically hard. It could just be, push yourself to get in your best shape ever. It doesn't have to have that end goal. It can be like you can just start the habits of training and dieting to get to your best self, whatever that looks like. If you want it to be a stage, great. If you don't want it to be a stage, great. But is there anything else? So just that we haven't touched about your personal journey that you really wanted to make sure that you had a chance to say to the world, or if there's just any advice that you from your personal experience can share with us.
Yeah. So when you were just speaking, I was thinking, what makes prep so special. And I think it, in a way, like materializes time. You have to plan out your day. You have to revolve around, three priorities because your regular life doesn't go away. So you nailed it. And, I would just say to push yourself. I giving myself this time, like I started to sing and just do little things. And I never want people to dull that enjoyment in their life. I think time is so, I have to get there in 5 minutes. And it's like, okay, well, leave an hour early and, let yourself breathe, connect with yourself, and um, it's just a beautiful thing. Like, so never take it for granted, and try to do things like, I applied to this podcast, and I'm so glad that you could take me on, and just doing things that I'm uncomfortable with. It's world changing. So thank you so much for doing what you do.
Yes. Well, I'm glad that we got to share your story to the world because my uh I started this podcast because I'm like, well, if one person listens, then I'll keep
Mhm.
doing it. So
Right.
now when I have two of us, I'm like, okay, well, one person listens to me, one person listens to you. So now if two people listen, then it's worth it because you just really don't know who needs to hear this message. So I'm really glad that you were able to, come on and hopefully that your words touch someone and they inspire somebody to do something great and to, get on that stage if that's the goal or just to get out of bed sometimes. So I'm really excited that you got to come and share your journey to the stage with us. And our final question, which is our favorite question of the day. Okay, it's coming. Are you team cupcake and are you team protein shake?
I would have to say team protein shake just because these flavors that are coming out right now are, just insane. Like
So
I just
yeah,
saw an elf themed like line. And I was like, oh my goodness, we are just hitting the top of everything.
yeah. Do you have a favorite brand or flavor?
Sorry. So right now I really like the core nutritionals line, the vegan, and I'd say the lemon pound cake right now.
So good. Actually, I've tried that. Lemon is one of my flavors because I'm a lemon person. Some people aren't lemon
Yes.
people, but I love lemon. Okay, I'm gonna change you. Do you have a Ninja Creamy? I'm gonna ask because I love mine. Do you have one?
Um, no, I haven't tried that one yet. So what's your recommendation?
Well, okay, so I make this like it's like a sweet lemon sorbet kind of thing.
Okay.
But if you use lemon protein powder and just like a little bit of like vanilla jello, it's kind of like like the orange creamsicles, but it'd be like a lemon
Ooh,
creamsicle, like a little vanilla, a little lemon, and then I'll put in like just like a lemon juice, like actual lemon juice, and make it
yeah.
into protein ice cream thing. It's just really good. It's really, really good. I like that
Thank you
combination.
so much.
Or you could do, I used to do these, this is a long time ago, um, Crystal Light, like raspberry lemonade, and then use your protein powder. Then like in the summertime, it's not, well, I guess it's summer where you're at, but you can make it
Yeah,
into
right.
like this like protein, kind of like a slushy, but it's raspberry lemonade flavored. So I always try to make some fun combinations.
No, that's what I'm saying. Protein shakes are so versatile. So thank you so much. I'm gonna be getting creamy soon. I have to.
Yes, definitely. All right. Well, if anyone wants to touch base with you after this episode and just reach out to you, where can they do so?
Yeah, so my Instagram, I guess I'll give Boundless with Bree. I have that page. My personal is just underscore hide and seek, but it's HYDEE.
Okay, amazing. We'll get your episode up towards the end of January. And then for 2024, it's New Year's Eve when we're recording this. So happy New Year's Eve.
Happy New Year's Eve Eve. Do you have any fun plans?
No. I'm gonna go to the gym and that's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm ready for, girl. I was just
Yeah, it's been really slow where I live, which is so weird because I thought after Christmas I was like, uh-oh, people are going to be getting ready for the New Year's, but it's been slow. So I feel like the second it's 2024, the gym is just going to be
yeah.
packed for at least a few months. So I've been really enjoying getting into the gym where it's not so busy. So I'm just going to go to the
Right.
gym for New Year's Eve. I know
Well,
it's
Rock,
kind of lame, but oh well.
no problem. You enjoy your workout.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Bye, Sabina.
Bye.